We got a 2008 Suzuki KingQuad 750 here. We're going to be giving it a little test drive. So yeah, this one is pretty much all stock other than the rims and tires. Has mud light, 25-inch mud lights, so it is stock size. And then ITP rims. They look pretty good on this machine. We'll take a quick glance around. Independent suspension. Yeah, no, this thing's in pretty good shape. It's got a winch. These things get a little storage box here. I believe that's the only storage on this. Yeah, it is. This one has, let's see, 1,306 miles and 256 hours. So let's try her out. Fire up the big single cylinder. So we have reverse, neutral, high, and low. Gonna run her in high right now. Give her a whirl. It appears we're gonna get a little wet today, but that's okay. So this Suzuki here, just stepping on it. So I've actually never drove a KingQuad 750 before. The only thing I can compare it to is the Grizzly 700. The Grizzly 700 is, that thing has got wicked low end torque. You just hit the throttle and it's very very low geared. This, this seems to take off nice and gradual. You wouldn't know you're on a 750, honestly. So we are gonna probably go around here, but this is a dual overhead cam engine, so usually those are a little bit higher revving and they don't have as much down low. But yeah, we're gonna try it. Nice and quiet engine. You guys can even hear it. Very quiet. As far as all the controls go, it actually feels very nice. Engine, now that's one thing with the Grizzly, it'll slow you right down. This doesn't seem to have aggressive engine braking, if it has any. Boy, it's so smooth. I mean, this is a big single cylinder ATV. This is a 750 single cylinder. It's the biggest single cylinder they make, actually. I'm not sure if anybody else makes a 750, but look at this. Look at the bars. They're not even vibrating at all. This thing is just super smooth. When you take off, same thing. So smooth. There's no vibration at all. They got this engine well balanced. So the KingQuad doesn't have the most ground clearance out of everybody, but from what I'm told, these things they handle great because of that, the geometry of everything. They didn't go for more ground clearance, they went for handling characteristics, which on the trail, high-speed trails, you definitely will be thankful for that. It's been a while since I even rode a Grizzly, so a little hard for me to compare, just, because I haven't rode on one for a while. I've been riding a lot of other stuff. I just can't believe how smooth this engine is. Very, I wasn't expecting that. The Grizzly's got some vibration. I love the Grizzly engine, but this is just different. We open her up, she's got some power. Now we got a little bit heavier tire versus stock, these mud lights. We will try out the full drive system right here. We'll stop it, go ahead and throw it in low. Similar to a Yamaha, but a little different. So two-wheel drive is just right here. You push that in, that's full drive. You see it light up here. And then if you want to lock your differential, you go up like that. You can see it's flashing here. Now that is four-wheel lock. Now this does not have power steering, so it's gonna turn mean. But you got all four wheels going, so it literally will crawl up anything. I really do like the feature to have the, if you don't have an all-wheel drive system, it's nice to have a lock. But man, I'm telling you what, trying to turn this thing, it turns mean. So we put it back. Let's see how she handles in four-wheel drive. A little bit more resistance in the handlebars than two-wheel drive, but it's controllable. But that's why we can put it in two-wheel drive. I'm going to try out the low range just for a second here. She does wheelies. So she revs out. It looks like 25 miles an hour. You're getting some kind of higher RPMs, so I can see this being a fun machine to play around on. I'm just surprised. It seems very, very tall geared. And I still haven't cut the tree down. Jeez. But I did make a little path last time, so we'll just go around for now. I think spin it right around. So the ground clearance isn't too bad. I was a little nervous I was going to hit that rock back there. Alright, so we're getting into the soupy stuff right now. Throw it back in low range. Definitely full drive. Oh yeah, there's the bottom. We're going to avoid that rock pile because we already know our ground clearance isn't the best. Probably throw her in diff lock too. Yeah, I'm bouncing off these rocks pretty good. I'm surprised. Well, of course it is tall geared, but I'm surprised somebody, when they put the mud lights on, they didn't go up to at least a 26. I probably would have went with 26. Just give it a little clearance. Throw her back at 2. Well, I tell you what, after being on my diesel ATVs, it's nice to get on something with a little bit of power. I'm gonna go ahead and throw it in high range because we don't need it in low right now. So these Suzukis, they're set up pretty nice with your braking system. Your front brakes are right here, located on the right. Your rear is located here. Also, you get a rear foot brake that controls your rear brakes. So with these Suzukis, it has a sealed braking system, oil bathed. It's actually in the rear differential, and so it's getting cooled all the time. Kawasaki does a similar setup. I think they did it first actually, but with that type of system, you hardly, you never need to change your brake pads. If you ever do, it's a lot more work because you got to tear into that rear diff. But most of the time, they're good for the life of the bike usually. Your front's normal rotors, and So those are gonna wear, you know, just like any other machine. So I'm noticing, you know, it does have good engine, it has engine braking. It slows you down. It's not aggressive. A lot of people don't like it aggressive though. We're on to the high-paced trail. We'll see how she does. I just can't, you know, I bet this thing is actually good on fuel because it doesn't seem like you're running high RPMs at all. You know, we're doing 32 miles an hour and it just seems like low RPM right now. I bet a clutch kit could take care of that and you'd have a lot more low end. I'm curious what this thing will do on the top end because I don't know. It seems like that's where her power is. Or it seems like it's geared high enough to, I don't know, do 70 miles an hour. The Grizzly, I think, was limited to like 66. I think my 700 was. But we'll find out up here shortly. This is punching it right here. And it just, I don't know. It's got good power, but you don't think you're on a 750. It pulls pretty good, it does. Alright, so now that we're on a road, we're gonna try this thing out. What are we guessing? I bet it'll do 70. We'll see. Wipe my mirror or windshield off here. So high range, 2-wheel drive, full throttle here in a second. Jump straight up to 40, 50 miles an hour. Oh, there she goes. I'm gonna back off just a little bit here. We'll get back onto it. Oh, I guess it is limited way lower than I thought. Not bad, but it looked like 64 miles an hour. I jumped back on it after this little hill. Yeah, 64, it's off the limiter. I saw 65. There's no sense of holding it there because that's where she is, 65 miles an hour. You know, that's not bad. It's about right where that Grizzly 700 was. It just seems taller geared. That's why I thought it would go a little faster on the top end, but that is plenty fast enough.